him that one time.
Yeah. All set.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome everyone to the EDC meeting. Maria, would you do the roll call?
Sherry Boye.
Yes.
James Ellis is absent. Stephen Ehrman.
Here.
Madeline Fleury.
Here.
Archie McKee is absent. Daniel Mills is absent. Nate Manette.
Here.
Also present, Jeremy Evans, Maria Bourgeois, Paul Ellis, and Kelly Brunette.
Okay. I need a motion to accept the agenda. I don't think we're having executive session. No executive session.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Steve?
Okay. Everyone's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. No public comment. Approval of previous meeting minutes, September 20th, attached. I need a motion to accept.
Steve will move.
I'll second.
Everyone in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any committee reports from anyone?
I'll just note that Economic Development Committee reported in the IDA meeting, and we had an executive session pertaining to the real estate issues for potential offices for the IDA, and that's basically it.
Okay. I don't think anyone else has anything to report. Treasurer's report.
As I said in the IDA meeting. I think where I left off was I do have, finally did connect with our auditor, and we will be getting together next week to begin the whole year-end closeout process. There are residual items that had, I think in a percentage-wise, I would say 75% of the stuff got cleaned up this year. There's a remaining 25% of items that are items that have been lingered for a while, and they can't be resolved without the assistance of the auditor. Some of these items I'm actually going to be doing some corrective entries in December, which are going to throw our balances off temporarily for December. I decided to hold off until December, get them all towards the end of the year when the auditor can come in and we can go over how to do the adjusting entries to clean up any of those oddball balances. A lot of this revolves around accounts receivable, how they're recorded at the end of the year, with some staff turnover in the past, like with Marcy and different things like that. Things hadn't been recorded properly, and Rachel has done a phenomenal job in helping to clean up a lot of these accounts receivable items that some of them have gone back 3 or 4 years. And so a big step this year is with now Rachel having pretty much almost a full couple of years under her belt. She's going to be able to provide me a complete list of any of the accounts receivable type items where we might have issued a check that we're going to get reimbursed for from the New York State. So if we issued 10,000 in checks and we're going to get a reimbursement for 10,000, my accounts receivable is 10,000. So it's some of the older stuff has already been cleaned up. She knows exactly what's outstanding, and so I think starting in 2024, we'll actually be running with clean balances for the first time. And when I say that, it's what I've been striving for is to make sure that on a monthly basis, and this is the direction we've been going, is that you have in an accounting system at any point in time at month end, that should be reflective of exactly the financial position of the organizations. And that's been my goal. To this point, it's basically been once a year when the auditor does the adjusting entries. And so, starting next year, it's not to say our financials are way off right now, but I'm a person that likes things right to the penny. And so that's where we're going to end up. So.
I need a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. CEO report?
I have nothing further to add.
Okay. Any old business? New business, we have resolution, yep. 23-28 to approve 2024 budget. Need a motion to accept.
I'll make the motion, Steve. To accept.
Need a second.
Oh, I'll second it. Sorry, Sherry.
Yep.
Keep them all in line.
All righty. Any discussion?
Just want to, again, since it has been a while since we discussed it, I just want to make sure, again, when you're looking at the page that shows the 2023 budget compared to 2024, there's a sizable difference in the operating income. Again, that's reflective of the fact that we did get a very large CARES Act funding in that particular year. So that kind of made it jump up in 2023. The other item that I want to mention is, and again, this goes back to, how things have been accounted for in the past and how Marcy might have done things. And, there's usually a lot of things that are lost in the translation and communication. But when we have a state grant in which we are just simply a pass-through entity for these funds, the money goes into what's called non-operating income, non-operating expenses. And because we don't actually get any operational value out of it other than the fee we might collect for administration, which would be recorded as operating income. But if the majority of the funds are just simply passing through, it now is supposed to go into non-operating. And I'm making sure that is now happening going forward with our budgets. So that might account for some of the differences in the balances when you look at some of the other items. That's about it.
Okay. Roll call for you.
So roll call for 2023-28, approving the 2024 budget. Sherry Boye.
Yes.
James Ellis is absent. Stephen Ehrman.
Yes.
Madeline Fleury.
Yes.
Archie McKee is absent. Daniel Mills is absent. Nate Manette.
Yes.
Resolution duly adopted.
Very good. Thank you. Marketing update. Jeremy and Kelly.
Okay, I'm gonna pass these out, you guys. And Kelly, we can see you.
Okay.
I've got your slides up.
Okay. More important than seeing me. Yeah, we can flip through these slides quick. Just wanted to give an update on marketing and communications. Don't need to take up a lot of your time, but have some interesting things to share.
And I just passed out the booklet also.
Okay. Yeah.
This is nice, Kelly.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to work on it. So as you all are aware, I'm sure, why we need to focus on marketing and communication. It's helpful just to remember this because it's easy that marketing and communication becomes an afterthought, but we want to continuously increase the awareness of the region, attract, retain, and expand businesses and people, and just, make sure that we have positive economic development impact happening in our region. So the best way for us to do that is to promote and provide accurate and interesting information about what we have to offer, our assets and our opportunities. So that's where the whole Frontier Fact idea came from, and I don't think it's new to any of you. We've been talking about it over the summer, but Jeremy and I worked together really to set up June through beginning of September, sort of like a summer thing to really just be redundant in our messaging. So it just sinks in a little bit more for people. So we made a 12-week commitment with every Friday pushing out a new frontier fact. And so, yeah, I think that's what Jeremy sent out. We just kind of printed them all for you so you could see them. Sometimes that's easier than having it pass through on your screen or your email or wherever you may see it. And then the topics, which are in the booklet, but just kind of outlined them here. We identified our resilient industries, Main Street program, and then some other key topics being transportation, housing, workforce, and highlighting our small business program. So I think the one thing that I wanted to point out, otherwise, a lot of the numbers are pretty interesting, but there wasn't one topic that was the clear lead in interest across all platforms, which sort of reiterated to me that we do need to be doing the website, the email, the social media, because it does hit different audiences. So for example, the email that had the most opens was healthcare. The email that had the most clicks, so like something within the email that generated enough interest for people to take it the next step further to actually click on a link within the email, was agriculture. The Main Street program had the most website views. Living Here had the most social media reach. And then the most social media clicks was transportation. And I think that was due to, the airports. I have my reasoning for why I think Living Here was a really just beautiful picture. You can see down below of the Oxbow and Tupper Lake. And so on social media, just a really pretty picture is what grabs everyone's attention. So I think that's why that one had the most social media reach. Main Street program had the most website views because that made sense too. The Main Street program is like the grant source, funding money. People kind of gravitate towards that on the website if they're looking for more information. So that was kind of fun to look over. And then I have one more slide that just identifies the total numbers, which is really what we were kind of going for. And it proved successful to us in these numbers from June to September. 73,000 emails were opened. So yeah, we had good reach. And one thing that I thought was really satisfying is that we didn't have a high drop-off number, right? It wasn't like people received the first 2 Friday emails from us and then like unsubscribed from our list and quit opening what we had to say. It was sort of the opposite, that as we kept doing them week after week, we would receive, I know I received, dozens of very short emails, but just saying, cool, thanks for sharing. I didn't know this, great information. So people started getting used to seeing them and appreciated them. So that was fun. Had great social media reach and drove traffic to our website. And I think the biggest takeaway with the Frontier Facts for us and why we wanted to print them out and put them in front of you is that for each of these things that our organization is at the core of, it's some great facts and talking points. A lot of the things in there, I didn't know concisely, and now I do. So just up next, briefly to touch on it, we have our Where the Wilderness Works video series that we've already produced. And so now we're going to spend the upcoming, few months anyways, focusing on each one of them. It's not the only thing we'll be doing in those months, but just sort of an ongoing campaign that's going to be out there where we're really going to dive in, taking the agriculture frontier fact, for example, and just really learning more about that, really diving into agriculture in the months of October and November and doing some specific promotion about that during those months. That's all I have.
including really, really promoting the video about agriculture. Remember that was the first one we got done with Carsata Dairy as the focus. We have one for each of these, so we're really going to be trying to use the video and raise interest and awareness for each one, for each segment.
Yeah.
Kel, is this a draft or is this in final?
We just printed out enough for the board. So yes, any edits or updates, or we can make edits. Yes. And if you think it would be valuable to have some more printed copies, Jeremy and I were thinking that maybe we could leave a couple at the airports or at the Chamber of Commerce or at other key locations where someone might be, have some time to sit and flip through it.
Okay. The reason why I raised that, I think this is really great. The one thing on the when we talk about the Adirondack Forest,
Yep.
I think there needs to be a stronger, and it could be a few words, but a stronger statement that the state-owned forest preserve is not really part of the economic forest. It's not something that's subject to being harvested. So, when we get down to the third, and I can do a slight markup of this if it's helpful to you, but when we talk about the significance of the of working forests, Franklin County emphasized the active management of woodland areas, and then maybe just in the brackets, not the state-owned forest preserve or something like that, because it should be really made clear to people that the forest preserve isn't something that's producing timber for the economy, and the real audience for that would be environmental groups who are looking to be supportive of the EDC, to have them know that we recognize that, rather than blurring the fact that we have forests that can be harvested and forests that can't.
Yeah, I would take any suggestions, Steve, if you don't mind sending some edits my way, and I can give that some more thought. Yeah, happy to do that.
Keep us in good stead with Dave Gibson and some of those other folks that we like to have as supporters.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yeah.
This is really great. I really do love this piece. And where it says 25,000 housing units, there's a really great picture of what we're hoping to be the reality of the Cary. That looks really great.
First floor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Very nice.
Nicely done.
I'll just say that working on this with Kelly, what she brings to the table for us is a really good she admits she's not an expert, right? So it's good to have she'll say, I'm not an expert on forestry or transportation. None of us are experts, but she has that perspective as an outsider looking in a way, but also understands us as an organization and what our priorities are, and helps us stay really focused on our core messaging, making sure everything is branded right. So when we see a statistic like on the slide sheet, how do I go back? So 73,000 people saw our emails July through September. A lot of them were the same, but in those 73,000 emails, you saw the same logo, from the same people, Franklin County Economic Development Corporation. And this is what we've been working towards for years, is to build the awareness of who we are and what we care about. Yes. And she's been able to really help us focus on that and do this at a level of sophistication that was never possible before. And I'm really appreciative of her work in this regard, because this is something that I've heard ever since I've been here. It was even before I worked here. I didn't have a good I'm in the business, and I didn't have a really good understanding. And it's nobody's fault. It's just the effort wasn't able to be put into it. So we're going to keep at it. And the other part I would just say is it's the feedback we've gotten has been so positive because what we're talking about is positive. We're really trying to focus on who we are, what our strengths are, and there's so much to be proud of. And just to be able to put this stuff together and put it out there in an online world that has so much negativity to it, people have responded to just positive messaging about the place in which we live, and it's been really fun to get the feedback. So Kelly will get these emails and she'll share them with me. This is great. I didn't know that. It just comes every month.
Yeah, it's nice.
Nice.
Well, the pictures are beautiful
Yes,
too.
they are.
Really
Nice booklet.
Mhm.
Well, we appreciate your support over the last couple of years because we understand like you'll allow us to charge for it with getting video done or photos done. And then you sit and wait, like where's the result, right? Like for months and months and months you're waiting. When are we gonna see the outcome of that investment? And we appreciate your patience, but now we're finally using these assets that we've been buying. And it's been fun.
Thank you.
And I think it's appreciated. Like Jeremy said, like a simple email will be like, I love living here. I'm so glad your organization recognizes that it's a great place, right? Just being positive and that things are happening here, and it's, highlighting the good sometimes. It's important.
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful pictures.
Looks like the kind of county you want to live in.
Right, yes.
Yes.
You accomplished that.
Yeah, I mean, it goes without saying, we're in the business of understanding the reality and dealing with all the challenges. It's not that we're ignoring that stuff, but we've got to focus on our strengths.
We have a lot to offer.
We have a lot to offer, and people need to hear it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Kelly's been helping us do that in a great way.
We're going to get this out, and you'll probably find some of these other counties saying, boy, that's really slick. We need to do the same kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen
I
these
would
in other
suspect.
counties,
No, I haven't.
I have.
Kelly?
I
No.
haven't. No,
Okay.
We do.
we're not
I
packaged
do.
that way, right? Yeah, not.
I do get feedback from my colleagues in other places. Like we watch what they do,
Mhm.
and sometimes
Of course,
we're
that's
like,
why I asked.
we do better than them. And other times it's like, well, we want to measure up to what they do.
Right.
But it's good when I get feedback from them. Hey, you guys are doing great work over there, because we are getting that.
That's good.
Not that we're in competition,
No.
Oh.
but
We
we
are.
all try to like watch each other,
Feeding off each other.
learn from
It's
each
nice to
other.
get a compliment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
It's good.
Thank
There
you.
you are.
Yeah,
Thanks,
very
Kelly.
nice. Yeah.
No executive session, no public comments. So I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.